Okay, for today's naturally inspired moment, this is a good one. I want you to discover your unique strengths. This is so important because, our minds are conditioned to focus on what we don't do well. And that starts in school. I really believe that starts in school. The way school is set up, it doesn't work with your strengths. Very, very, very few kids that go through the school system come out of school thinking, I know my strengths. No, you end up knowing what you suck at, right? Because they're like, oh, you're not good at math. Oh, you're more of a science person. Oh, you're better at English. Or, they're always telling you what you're not good at and trying to get you better at what you're not good at. Well, that has value. I tend to think it's better to focus on your strengths and just really blow up your strengths. And then, you build relationships with people around you that help fill in your gaps. I think that's the way we're meant to live, like blow up our strengths and then we work within a support system, a win-win support system that helps fill in the stuff that we're maybe not that great at. And it's totally okay. So we all carry different gifts that set us apart, but often we overlook them. And so here today, I want to talk about 5 ways to begin identifying your unique strengths today. Number 1, notice what feels natural. The things you do with ease that others find difficult are often your hidden talents. So pay attention to where effort feels effortless. And you all have them. We all do, right? I mean, I loved watching my kids grow up but they were so different. My daughter, totally different than my son, but they both had these wonderful strengths. And the world's tough, and people tear you down and people tell you things, that are mean. And sometimes they don't even know that they're being mean. It's like the world's a tough place, but you should always have someone to come back to remind you of your strengths. And that's what I tell my kids all the time. If you ever feel lost and you forget who you are or what you're good at, I know everything. I've watched you since you started walking. I know exactly what you're good at. And so everybody's good at something. Some things just come effortlessly to you. And I know you have something like that. We all do. Number 2, track your energy. Strengths give energy rather than drain it. Okay, so when you feel most alive and in what we call your flow state, you've likely tapped into a natural ability. Your flow state, like when I'm doing this show, I can't believe it's 2 hours. Clearly, I'm a talker. I like to talk, but it goes by so fast because I love giving this information and I feel like I'm doing something productive and I feel like I'm contributing to you. And so the time goes by totally fast. That's, a flow state. Some people it's writing. Same kind of thing happens to me when I'm writing. Other people it's music. Sometimes it's art. Sometimes it's just like building stuff. Building stuff, putting stuff together, the feeling of satisfaction of like fixing a problem. It doesn't have to be art. I think we focus on that too much when it comes to flow state. Like, oh, I'm not an artist, so I must not know what flow state is. No, you can be digging ditches and feel like you're in your flow state because you're working your body and maybe you're getting some work done. And you're doing something meaningful, like you're building the infrastructure of the world that we need. Takes men to do that. And so you may find yourself in your flow state when you're doing something like that, when you're contributing to society by building the very infrastructure that we rely on to function. Maybe you drive trucks, same thing. You're hauling food around, you're hauling necessities around so that society can function. And maybe you enjoy that. It doesn't have to be art. I just want to make that point, I certainly wouldn't be able to drive a massive truck. I get so nervous, even like when I drive Jay's truck. I don't mind driving Jay's truck, but still, like, it's not my thing. I'd rather be in a smaller vehicle. I don't know. Maybe it's just a girl thing. But anyhow, pay attention, pay attention to that. Listen to feedback. This is so important. I'm telling you, over the years, you go back all the way to kindergarten, somebody has told you something that lines up in the same way your whole life. Right? So listen to that feedback. People will tell you what you're good at. People around you often see gifts that you take for granted. You don't think they're anything big. When you hear you're so good at that, pause and take it seriously, because they're not telling you that for their health, right? They're telling you that because it probably isn't a strength for them, and they can't believe that you can do that. Seriously. And if you look back on it, you'll probably see that multiple people have told you that before. You know, something like, man, you're really good under pressure. I could have never have done that. Like, you're really good under pressure. Has someone told you that before? That's a strength. So think about that. Number 4, reflect on challenges that you've already overcome. Strength is forged in adversity. So the skills you leaned on to navigate hard seasons, those might be your greatest assets as well. So if you think back to some of the crappy times, you know, those painful, what do they call them? Night of the soul. You know, the night of the soul moments where you just feel like, oh my God, how long is this going to go on? You know, whether it's financial or, you know, you're dealing with a strained relationship or a marriage, or we all go through these dark nights of the soul through the years, right? And you just feel like they're going to last forever, but they don't, because nothing lasts forever. And so think about how you got through those things, because those are your greatest learning times, right? What did you get out of that? Maybe you overcame an addiction. Maybe, I mean, there's so many dark nights of the soul that we all have an individual one, it seems like, as well. So think about those ones and think about what skills you use to get through them. How'd you get through that? You know? Do you ever have people tell you that? Like, man, I can't believe the crap you've been through. How'd you get through that? Well, you just do it, don't you? You just do it somehow. But that's a strength, and you got to give yourself credit for it. Align with your passions. So what lights you up points the way. Strength grow fastest when paired with genuine interest and curiosity. So what excites you? Like, what are you interested in? And that's the light that leads the way. I also firmly believe that sometimes your biggest pains become your biggest passions, and that they were set in front of you for a reason. They were purposefully set in front of you for a reason, because you're the only one that can impact that issue in the way that a lot of people need to be impacted by it. So sometimes your biggest pain can be your biggest purpose. Maybe it feels like absolute catastrophe, you know, in that you won't make it out of it, but somehow you do make it out of it. And that is what ends up being your purpose in life. You help other people through that very same pain. Or maybe you're just a living example of how to get through something very painful. Your strengths aren't random. They're the very tools you were given to make your unique contribution in this world. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I am so glad you're here today. We'll be back with hour 2. Got lots of news for you. You're not going to want to miss it.